The depths of the Atlantic Ocean have kept their secrets for many decades, and only modern technology has provided a glimpse into a past hidden in darkness. One day, a team of researchers interested in history and archaeology decided to use advanced underwater drones and the latest search algorithms to explore the site of the sinking of the legendary Titanic. From the very beginning of the operation, there was something strange in the air. Journalists following the project noted that the underwater drones periodically lost communication signals and went on inexplicable dives towards the darkest parts of the ocean floor. The searchers decided to ignore these accidents and continued their work. Each day, however, the anomalies intensified. The drones' navigation systems began to malfunction, their cameras recording strange shadows and glowing shapes in the depths. The team began to sense that they were not alone in this underwater realm of the dead. One day, while exploring the ruins, the underwater drone picked out something that looked like an ancient scroll covered in coral. When the researchers decided to bring it to the surface, something unimaginable happened. The water around them began to waver like the breath of the ocean itself, and ghostly figures began to emerge from the dark depths. They were the ghosts of Titanic's passengers and crew members, brought back to life from their centuries-old graves. Their shadows touched the drones, causing their machines to vibrate restlessly. Altered search algorithms began to recognize these ghostly entities as living objects, baffling the entire scientific world. It suddenly became clearer that technology had tapped into territory that should have remained beyond the living and awakened something that would have been better left alone. Since then, the sunken Titanic has become a mystical center where past and present intertwine in sinister harmony. The searchers, with those who have returned from the dead, are deciding whether to continue their exploration or to close this page in history and let the souls fall into eternal sleep at the bottom of the Atlantic. The next few weeks became a nightmare for the research team. Ghostly figures from the past continued to flicker around the ruins, occasionally interacting with the underwater drones. It seemed that at times disappearing into the depths, they reappeared, reminding them of their existence. One day, when the team decided to bring to the surface the ancient scroll that was the source of this mystical activity, the ghosts reappeared in all their power. Shadows surrounded the drone, and whispers and sounds that defied logical explanation began coming from the chambers. The searchers were in wonder. They felt they were making their way into the uncharted realms between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The scroll, which appeared to be covered in an unknown ancient writing, seemed to have an energy of its own. The explorers felt that they were witnessing some kind of ritual that was awakening the souls of the dead. However, with each new discovery, the price they had to pay became higher and higher. The team members experienced strange dreams, saw ghosts in their dreams, and felt that something was following them even in their normal lives on land. One of the explorers, deeper into his study of the scroll, began to lose touch with reality. He claimed that the ghosts were trying to send him a message, that he was becoming a link between worlds. The team felt that the boundaries of reality were blurring, and they were unsure where their research would take them. Thus, the searchers were confronted with a mystical mystery that turned out to be far more complex and dangerous than they could have imagined. The question of whether to continue their research or close that door to the past has become an integral part of their very existence. Time will tell what secrets remain eclipsed in the darkness of the ocean depths. As the mysterious phenomena became more and more intense, the research team found themselves at odds. Some members of the team believed that they had breached the invisible boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead, opening a portal to unknown and mystical forces. Others believed that it was all just the result of strange phenomena that could be explained scientifically. Over time, the mysterious effects began to affect not only the underwater drones, but also the crew members. One scientist recounted how his own dreams intertwined with visions of ghosts from the Titanic. Others heard mysterious voices that seemed to call them to something more. One researcher, influenced by strange forces, decided to use the scroll outside of research purposes. The moment he unrolled the scroll and began to read its ancient text, something unimaginable happened. Everything around him warped, as if space and time had undergone a warp. He disappeared before the eyes of his colleagues, as if something unknown had swallowed him up. With each passing day, the team found that their decisions were affecting the mystical power they had awakened. A series of unexplained phenomena and strange occurrences caused the team members to become fearful of their own discoveries. Rumors of mysterious events at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean spread throughout the scientific community, causing a wave of interest and fear. However, despite all the difficulties, the team of researchers could not give up the idea that they were opening the door to something amazing and unknown. They faced a choice: to continue their dangerous journey into the world of mysticism, or to close this door, sacrificing their own souls in favor of safety. Internal conflicts within the team grew along with the mysteries surrounding their research. Some of the researchers began to leave, no longer wishing to tie their fate to the mysterious forces that seemed to elude understanding. Meanwhile, the remaining group continued their work, though with each passing day, they were losing a shred of confidence in their actions. The scroll that had become the center of their attention was increasingly becoming a source of anxiety. Its text seemed to change, reacting to the emotions and thoughts of the researchers. One day, during another dive of the underwater drone, something happened that fundamentally changed the course of the research. When the drone reached a place where the scroll had been discovered, the underwater space began to vibrate, as if in response to the call of an ancient force. From the depths rose a figure resembling the ghostly captain of the Titanic. The captain silently extended his hand towards the scroll, and in response, the mysterious inscriptions on it began to glow, forming the words that the explorers had just noticed. These words carried a message from the past, where the Titanic's demise carried with it not only tragedy, but knowledge of something greater. "You have opened a bridge between two worlds," the words echoed in their minds. "Our world needs help. Believe in your power." From that moment on, the explorers realized that it was no accident that they had encountered this mystical power. Fate has brought them to a moment where past and present have become intertwined, and it is now their responsibility to help the souls trapped in this mystical transition. They decide to join forces and use their knowledge and technology to help the ghosts find peace. It may be their only way to deal with the mystery they have awakened at the bottom of the ocean and bring back the balance between worlds. With this new realization, they focus their efforts on learning what happened and reconnecting the two worlds they seemed to have disconnected. With each new step, the team of explorers felt their mission turning into something much deeper and more exciting. They studied the ancient scroll, unraveled its messages, and began to realize that they were not just to restore balance, but to help the ghosts achieve peace. The scroll, like an ancient code, became the key to unraveling the mysteries and the leading thread between the two worlds. It contained ancient prayers, mystical symbols, and instructions on how to pass from one dimension to the other. Researchers began to realize that the ghosts were not just witnessing a tragedy, but were looking for a way to light across this transitional bridge. They used advanced technology and their knowledge to connect with the ghosts. As they discovered, many of them could not leave the site of the disaster, as they felt their souls were bound to these waters like chains. However, the scroll provided them with an understanding of how this bond could be broken. They performed rituals and ceremonies based on the knowledge of the scroll to strengthen the link between the worlds and create a portal for the ghosts. Each such experiment was like a journey into the uncharted territories between life and death. The underwater drones became a kind of guides, exploring new facets of reality. With each successful experiment, the team felt the ghosts gradually freeing themselves from the shackles of the past. They said goodbye to anxiety and longing, disappearing into the light that enveloped them. Spectral figures that previously seemed scarred by time and tragedy became luminaries returning to other realms. In this way, the research team became a kind of conduit between worlds, facilitating the reunion of separated souls. They realized that their own destinies had become inextricably linked to this mystical guide, and that they had become part of something much greater than just a scientific experiment. Their interaction with mystical forces proved to be both a challenge and a blessing, and they continued their journey into the unknown, leaving behind them traces in the mysterious history of their time. After a while, the research team began to delve deeper and deeper into exploring the mystical aspects of this world. They began to realize that the connection with the ghosts of the Titanic is only a small part of what lies in the mysteries of the ocean depths. The scroll, as if covering the centuries with darkness and light, became for them not only a key to the past, but also a gateway to the vast world of mystical knowledge. One day, conducting a ritual of communication with ghosts, one of the researchers suddenly felt how his consciousness begins to merge with something greater. It was as if he was in a time stream where past and future intertwined in a dance of energy and light. In this mystical journey, he saw foreshadowings not only of his destiny, but also of the fate of humanity. He learned that the Titanic was not only a lamentable sign of tragedy, but also a bridge between different temporal and spatial dimensions. Its ruins held not only the ghosts of the dead, but also knowledge that could change the course of events in the future. Thus, a team of researchers took on a new mission to decipher the secrets lurking in the ruins of the Titanic and use them for the good of mankind. They became a bridge between worlds not only for ghosts, but also for energy flows carrying the knowledge of the ages. With each new discovery, the explorers felt they were witnessing something greater than just exploring a shipwreck. They discovered ancient texts, deciphered codes, their minds merged with the mysteries of time. They became guardians of mystical knowledge, making sure that it did not fall into the hands of those who might use it for evil purposes. So they continued their journey between light and darkness, between worlds, where each new discovery awakened in them a sense of responsibility for the fate not only of the ghosts, but of all mankind. With each passing day, the research team delved deeper into the secrets hidden in the Titanic's wreckage. The scroll, which became the central artifact of their research, revealed more and more of their ancient knowledge. They unraveled mystical symbols, studied ancient texts, their minds intertwined with the energy that permeated this ancient knowledge. Gradually it became clearer that the Titanic carried not only tragedy, but also a kind of library of mystical secrets. It was not just a ship sunk in the ocean, but a kind of artifact linking the past, present and future. The explorers realized that their mission was not only to help the ghosts, but also to uncover secrets that could change the course of history. One of the team members, gazing into the texts on the scroll, began to reconstruct a picture not only of the past, but also of the future. He saw pictures of worlds where technology merges with magic and humanity explores new dimensions. The fate of the world seemed to lie in the hands of the researchers, and they realized that they had to accept responsibility for their actions. With each experiment, they deepened their understanding not only of the past, but also of what lay ahead. The researchers realized that with the mystical power of the Titanic came not only knowledge, but the ability to influence the course of events. They became the guardians of the mystical bridge between time and space. Thus, the team of explorers continued their mystical journey, seeking a deeper understanding of their purpose. In their hands they found themselves holding not only the keys to the past, but also the levers that could change the future. And, with each new step, they plunged into mysteries that unfolded before them like light and darkness, creating a unique harmony of mystical knowledge. With investigations into unraveling the mystical mysteries surrounding the Titanic, the team felt their own facets of reality merge with uncharted dimensions. They witnessed the interplay of magic and science, confronting questions that were beyond ordinary understanding. Underwater drones in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean became not only tools of exploration, but mystical guides between time and space. Venturing into the darkest parts of the ocean, they revealed new facets of secret knowledge. The scroll became more and more alive under their hands. It spoke to them, guided them through the ages, and allowed them to see the world through the eyes of those who rested there. The insights gained from these mystical journeys changed their consciousness, broadened their horizons and opened before them streams of knowledge they could not even dream of. However, as their mystical understanding grew, so did the complexity of their mission. They realized that they had in their hands the power not only of knowledge, but also of influencing the very structure of reality. The fate of humanity and the secrets hidden in the Titanic became more and more intertwined. One day, while performing another ritual using the scroll, the research team felt the mystical energy begin to spread not only from the Titanic's remains, but also deep within their own beings. They became an integral part of this mystical process, influencing the flows of time and space around them. In this way, they realized that they had become not only explorers, but also custodians of a mystical power that could change the course of history. The question of how they would use this power was becoming a key question. Their decisions could affect many aspects of humanity and the very ghosts they came into contact with. So the team of researchers continued their mystical journey, facing the challenges of exploring not only the past, but also shaping the future at the intersection of magic and science. In their hands lay the keys to changing destiny, and they realized that their actions were responsible for harmony and balance in a world of mystical forces. With each new step in the mystical journey, the research team felt more and more responsibility for the complex interconnections between worlds. The scroll, which seemed to be just an ancient text, became the voice of time, a reminder that the past and the future held deep secrets and possibilities. However, as their magical power grew, so did new challenges. Every decision, every choice in their research had the potential to change not only the fate of the ghosts, but the entire course of history. They realized that they stood at the crossroads of time, and their decisions would be imprinted into the very fabric of reality. At one point, while performing a mystical ritual, the research team felt the forces of the past and the future come together. A vortex of energy swept over them, opening their eyes to a stream of events that could change the course of all of human history. They saw the possibilities, but also the dark branches of alternatives that could lead to catastrophes. Finding themselves on the edge between light and darkness, the team of explorers decided to use their knowledge and power to create a balance. They became the guardians of the portal between time and space, controlling the interaction of the forces that underpin the universe. Thus began a new chapter of their journey. The team became not just explorers of the past, but guardians of knowledge, balancing magic and science. They became guardians of time, guarding its flows from possible disasters and abuses. Their story became a legend, told from generation to generation. The Titans, as they came to be called, continued their great and mysterious journey, the shores of which even the boldest dreamers had not seen. Their deeds intertwined the fates of ghosts, the mysteries of the Titanic, and forces beyond human understanding.